Watch out, Michael!
Alright, and welcome back to my Android tutorial series. This is video number 3. I decided to create a new project just because I don't want to leave out any important parts. So I decided to start over. So if you have seen video number 2, we already created a new project for the first time, so I wouldn't be explaining this again. First up is my project, and I already spoke about the minimum SDK version, which is 15, and I already explained why we would be using an empty activity. And finish. Okay, so it's taken a while. Alright. So when you click finish, this screen would come up and you would see some tasks being executed below. Before we do anything, always wait till there's no more executing tasks below. Now is a good time. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this video, please subscribe and click the bell icon so you can get notified when I post part 4, part 5, part 10. Alright, still building. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, as soon as all the tasks has finished executing below, you want to click on activity underscore XML. Right, this would take you to the XML activity of your Android app. The XML activity acts as the activity, let's say acts as the UI. So the user interface code would be your XML files. Right, so this is responsible for the images, for your buttons, for your text views. That is under your XML files. Right, so what we want to do, click activity underscore main, and then you would click preview, and this would bring up your preview, a preview of what we are currently doing over here. As I said in part 2, or I think it was part 1, I'm not going to be using this, which is drag and drop. I'm not going to be doing no drag and dropping. Right, we're going to learn it not the hard way, but the longer way, which is the better way. So that would be to code it. So when you get to this point, you notice that Android that support that constraint layout, it's kind of brown in color. We want to highlight the entire from Android, go straight down to constraint layout because we're not going to be learning about this right now. So watch carefully as I highlight Android, come on, Android, and end at constraint layout, right? And then we want to type L, and as soon as you type L, Android Studio automatically brings up a drop menu with different options. We want to select the linear layout, so we just press enter, and there's it. Notice on your right side the hello world moved from the middle to the top left corner. That's because we changed the layout, which is a linear layout, which brings me to part of the main topic in this course, which is layouts. There are two types of layouts we're going to be using. One is this one, which is the linear layout, and the other layout that we'd be using is the relative layout. Very common, very common in Android layout design, right? As we go along, we learn about different types of layouts apart from those two. But for now, as a basic, I started with linear and relative as the only two layouts that I knew. And you could do a lot with it, right? As a new Android developer, you could do a lot with these two layouts. So no need to confuse yourself with all these other constraint layout and stuff like that. For now, we will stick to what is easy and simple, right? So from there, once you reach this point, you have a linear layout, no errors, nothing underlined red, no errors, right? So what we would do, we would come down to the text view and we would change the text view from layout height. No, sorry. We would leave layout height as wrap content. We're going to change layout width from wrap content to match parent. Now, wrap content means that this text view would only take up the size of the text. So it will not fill the screen. It would only take up the amount of space that it needs. So if we notice when we highlight the text view, it only takes up this amount of space because it's wrapping around whatever content is within that text view. If I was to type more words into the same text, just random words, notice that the text view keeps growing longer and longer across the screen, right? This is how wrap content works. If I was to click enter and type some more, notice that it would go below and the height would change based upon how much text is within the box, right? So now I can clear that. So that's how wrap content works. Wrap content is the same for any view, whether it's a text view, a list view, edit text. You need two things that you need to remember when you're designing your layouts is wrap content or match parent. Before you do any layout design, it's best to write down and to state what you want and where you want it, and then decide on which of these to use. If it match parent or wrap content, right? So I want the text view. We would set the text width to match parent. So match parent now, match parent. And one thing I like about Android Studio, it helps you along the way, so you don't have to type everything out all the time. So let's press enter. Right, now notice now the text view is all across to the end of this screen, right? Match parent is saying that whatever device your app is on, it would always fill the device width, or it would always fill the device height. This text view would always be as long as your device screen. That's how match parent works. So even though it's on match parent, the text is still on the left. But that's not an issue, because what we need to learn is that we also need to set the text alignment, right? So if you just, okay, so let me go back. Come to your end of your text view. Anyway, within this text view and this closing bracket here, you could press enter and create a new line, right? Don't go outside of this, because then it wouldn't be within the text view and nothing will happen. You will get an error. So I like to start from the top, go down, or in the middle, but from the top text view, at the end of the text view, press enter. Then all you do is type TEX. Oh, look, it's already there. So as soon as you type that, we're looking for text alignment, right? And we would choose center, and now we have our text at the center. So I think that's all I'm going to cover in this video. My recommendation is that you practice this a million times, because the only way to learn in Android and to learn in programming is practice. You can't do it once and think that you would always get it. You have to practice and learn how everything works. So we could also clear these 4 lines here from app layout. We don't need this anymore because we are not using constraint layout anymore. So just clear those out. Right, so if you're following along with me, or you could also clear out this gray section here. If you're following along with me, you should be able to look like this. At this point, this is all the lines that we're working at right now. So in the next video, we'll go on to design and to customize this a little more. I will explain a little more about text view, and I would explain about layout ordering when you're using a linear layout. A lot of people get trouble with when you're now starting. So I would also simulate some errors so that we could learn about troubleshooting, because troubleshooting is one of the main things in programming. We must know how to troubleshoot. So I would also simulate some errors and we would fix it together. Maybe errors that I haven't seen before. I would just do things that we could see and we could learn how to troubleshoot. So thanks for watching. I hope you subscribe by now. I hope you like this video, and stick around for part 4 of my tutorials. See ya.